coming from the very top of the NCAA, the next 36 months in college athletics, could be the most critical that it's ever seen, in terms of just overall change. So I'm not sure necessarily that we all know exactly what to expect, but I know that being a part of the conference and being now in the Big Ten, being with the teams and the associations that we have is really important, certainly for the longevity of our program, and excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, change seems to be happening a lot in intercollegiate athletics, and obviously football is really driving the ship on that, and I think we all have to understand that.
I think what we've found is the Big Ten, their tentacles are so far-reaching, maybe much further than we even anticipated. And given all this stuff that's going on in college sports with the Power Five and this cost of attendance stuff and the challenges Olympic sports will face, I think it's great for us to kind of have gotten under a little bit of that blanket of security by being with the Big Ten. But we are tremendously excited.
I think what you've seen is a lot of potential in the Big Ten, just knowing that you have schools that have tremendous resources, great facilities, excellent brands, and I know all the coaches are very talented and hardworking. They're a hardworking group, so I think the future is very bright for Big Ten lacrosse.
In my involvement with the Big Ten now, and our coaches have been directly involved with them for just over a year now, the one impression I'm getting is that they see things, that office, those people see things on such a grand scale and have incredible resources to bring to bear, not just financial resources and physical resources, but influence because of their position in all of college sports. And having that as part of lacrosse now is going to help lacrosse, and they view lacrosse as a major sport. They really do. They told us this in our last meeting, that they kind of tier the way they think about sports, and they see lacrosse as one of their major sports. So,
big picture, I do think having the Big Ten involved in lacrosse, having a stake in its growth, is really positive. Whether that's helping with possibly the officials down the line, organizing championships, additional media coverage. Now you get the Big Ten Network that's covering a number of more lacrosse games than they ever have.
The TV network with the BTN games that we're going to have on TV. We'll have 4 nationally televised games this year, which will be exciting for our alumni, our fans across the country that maybe can't get to campus and see every game, but also for our players and for the recruiting aspect.
I think over time, as they get a read on what lacrosse is and what it needs, you're going to see a pretty major impact as the Big Ten figures out how it can work with other conferences, how it can work with the NCAA, how it can work with our coaches' organizations to help the sport move forward.
And it's exciting, I think, not only for the coaches involved, but I think it's exciting for the sport, people in the Midwest, non-traditional areas, and I think a lot of people are watching to see how things pan out.
I think it's important for the 3 schools, Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State, to continue to thrive. I think that kind of the bridge into the Midwest and over into the West, I think it goes through those 3 schools, and along with the Big Ten Conference. I just think that the notoriety that comes with that is just going to be great for the sport of lacrosse.
So I think down the road it should be more and more exciting as we go through this. I think being part of the initial Big Ten Conference is something that all of us will obviously look back on a long time from now, but hopefully what it does is that other conferences and maybe different conferences will see what we're building here, and maybe they'll jump in and help our sport, because at the end of the day we really need to keep thinking what can we do to help the sport grow, what is best for the sport, and anything we can do, we have to really think long and hard about doing it to try to help make this sport and the best it can be, and continue to grow to not only our country but all over the world.